She opens her mouth and a lie comes out.
I had to wear nude pantyhose all the time. Well, they love the show. And my partners love the show, and that's why we have a season 2. My husband and I have a lot of date nights because it's important. But yeah, we go out a lot.
I didn't think this interview could get any worse, but it sure did.
Meghan Markle was never told within the British royal family what to say or what to wear. The royal family were acutely aware that this woman had plans to make trouble for them in the future. So these are lies.
She lies without being fact-checked. She didn't have to wear pantyhose while she was a working member of the royal family.
It's so funny how she's like, oh, I had to wear pantyhose and that's so not like me. But she's literally been an actor. I thought this was such a good point.
Anyway, that's why I'm constantly trying to force this narrative that I'm this genuinely relatable and totally average royal Duchess of Sussex every chance that I get.
What we hear behind the scenes is that she's a bully who fires everybody, runs around only worried about herself. But when she gets on camera, she actually is a decent actress in being like, I'm just this super relatable person.
Why is she doing this again? Why
Because
is she bringing up these old issues?
she is a narcissist. She is obsessed. All that crap that Piers Morgan took at ITV, honestly, and I was there, Meghan Markle is a player.
Seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
I didn't think this interview could get any worse, but it did. Not in a small manner either. The exact manner that causes people to roll their eyes, close the tab, and exclaim, come on, things got worse. Think we're stupid? Today, I'm going to openly express what many others felt, but were unable to fully process.
Love it. We have such a beautiful, embracing community. I've been able to really create and dream.
Meghan is not in a good space to even be likable.
And I think it's incredibly important for young women, especially, to have a sense of why it matters for her to earn her own money and to be able to be financially independent. That
says the woman who literally marries a prince.
I'll keep it simple. I'll be truthful. Indeed, there will be some spice because there is too much of a disconnect between what is said and what is actually happening. This is the main issue with the interview. At every stage, it aims to preserve the brand while selling actual life. It requests trust without providing evidence. Warm terms like joy, home, and authentic are used repeatedly. However, if you pay great attention, you hear spin, distance, and control.
It's that little American hussy he's hooked up with. She's come to turn him into a Kardashian.
That's why many became irritated. It's because the story doesn't sit well, not because of success or jealousy. I don't have time to make dinner line is a good place to start.
But I'm really unapologetic about the fact that though would it be lovely to go and churn your own butter? Sure, maybe. I don't have time for that.
You literally waste time in your garden all the time to get flower sprinkles. So you say. How do you have time for any of this?
And I don't have time for that. I'm great at ordering takeout and plating it beautifully. And look, and yes, do I have small things where even on my kids' plates, I wipe the side of the plate? Someone might go, oh my gosh, that's so ridiculous. For me, that's 2 seconds where I get to present something that looks a little bit more beautiful.
I cannot imagine having a meal with Meghan Markle or trying to cook and she's literally cleaning, changing the order on the plates to make... No one cares! I just want to eat!
Many people do not cook. A lot of people order takeaway, telling us you wipe the edge of the plate. You plate takeout beautifully. You ensure it appears flawless. All right. However, be honest about your life if sharing it is the goal. Don't make your life seem like everyone else's. Say so if your day consists of brand strategy, meetings, phone calls, and photo shoots. If your team assists with housekeeping, mention it. People get wise because they feel pressured to act normal despite leading really abnormal lives. Just be honest. For the most part, I don't cook. We place an order. I enjoy giving it a great appearance. It's a typical sentence. That's human.
As she continues to try to make herself seem like someone that we should buy products from and buy into her as ever, all while she's doing all of this stuff, Dan, we are really beginning to know and see her for who she is, and we don't like her. She's unlikable.
The I don't have timeline coming from that level of support hits weird. It's not bad, it's simply tone deaf. Sold out discussion follows. Sold out sounds amazing. Without numbers, it feels like success, but has no real meaning.
Oh, we got a new range of this. Oh, it's gone, it's sold out. Oh, we got some wine, it's gone, it's sold out. Oh, we got some biscuits, it's gone, sold out. I mean, this company, as ever, seems to be based on the business model of never having any produce available.
When you sell out that quickly, it's a double-edged sword because it's an incredible thing to happen for any small business and any startup.
Dude, you're selling like 10 jars of jam. You will not show the figures. They even admitted at Bloomberg's. We don't know what her figures are, but she's sold out. Yeah, because you're doing this fake sellout.
The question was, how do you keep up with the demand? This is not the answer to that question. She's telling a little story.
If the batch is small, anyone can sell out. If you make 50 units and they're gone, that's not demand, that's math. The interview throws out 8-10 times the next drop, and then talks about needing a purchase order for 1 million jars and lids. 1 million? It's a leap. You can only take this step if you have contracts and satisfied customers. If not, it's merely a headline rather than a strategy. Present a receipt if the jump is genuine. Present a retailer test.
Yes. The rosé sold out also in less than an hour.
44 minutes. I was shocked.
How do you keep up with demand?
When you sell out that quickly, it's a double-edged sword because it's an incredible thing to happen for any small business and any startup. And at the same time, you don't get the same metrics and learnings about which SKUs and products are the most coveted because it's all gone immediately.
This company, as ever, seems to be based on the business model of never having any produce available.
Show a capacity schedule with a co-packer. Display the dull facts that true founders are well versed in. Runs, yields, shelf life, piloting, spoiling, flavor stability, sugar bricks, and returns. It's not necessary to divulge trade secrets. Just demonstrate that this goes beyond a press release and a picture. Because as it stands, it sounds like a story, not a supply chain, and the home recipe speech.
Is this facade of success due to carrying very little product in the first place? Or is it that people really can't get enough of your incredibly overpriced runny-ass jam? A little of both.
The most coveted because it's all gone immediately. So then we prepped for the...
Oh, that must be such a problem. We sold out all of our merchandise. It's such a curse.
I respect anyone who tries, but the way it's described seems like someone attempting to sound like a builder, not someone who has slammed their head into a manufacturing line at 2 a.m. Discuss the concept of heat penetration curves. Discuss the reasons behind a certain fruit batch's failure and subsequent disposal. Discuss the conflict between cost, flavor, and safety. Discuss the week that pallets had to be manually relabeled because a label specification was incorrect. That really hurts. That's true education. The term home recipe sounds good, but in reality, any large-scale product is a system. You boast about the individuals that worked with you to create the system. The story begins to seem like it was written for a magazine page rather than being learnt on a manufacturing floor if you are unable to identify those individuals.
I'm exasperated in some ways by that only because it is such a tedious proposition to scale your own home recipe to something at mass and maintain the same, not just quality, but the same flavor that you're able to do at home.
That's not the way it happens. Nobody asks that because there's a process for that to happen. And it's not that.
Then we get to price and the BB shirt memory.
And all I wanted to do was save up to buy a shirt that said BB.
Yes!
Right?
Yes,
that just said BB. And if you could get the one with the rhinestone BB, you really made it. And
She's literally remembering her childhood. And instead of remembering her father who helped raise her and do all this stuff, her memory is trying to get the rhinestone BB shirt so she could have a status symbol to make herself look richer, more.
His father, in my opinion, attempted to make up for that maternal absence by giving Meghan everything she wanted. A child who clearly, I believe, was not the brightest, was not the most creative, was not the most talented, was not the kindest, did not have any real distinguishing factor, but created this monster whose vaulting ambitions finally got her.
I get the idea. The brand should have an aspirational yet approachable vibe. The memory itself speaks on the field, but you want that little thrill of, I can have a piece of this world. Craft, family, or taste are not at the core of the recollection. It's about the sensation of being noticed wearing a rhinestone logo. That is definitely status marketing. Additionally, status marketing is acceptable. Simply state what it is. Avoid using the word authentic to describe it. Say so if the brand is all about shine, shimmer, and a little show. People may still purchase. They simply won't think you're trying to take their wallet and carry them through a cloud. And please, the notion of the souvenir jar. Save the jar for pens or flowers after you've eaten the jam. Adorable. However, it repeats the silent part aloud. When the flavor is gone, the brand wants to remain on your desk. It aspires to be somewhat totemic. It's not home. Marketing psychology is what that is. The container itself will feel special if the jam is excellent. The jar does not need to be sold as a second product. Sell the contents. I won't keep the jar if you sell memories and I taste a clickbait spread. I'll remember that the brand makes too many promises. Then comes the word that gets used like a magic card: authenticity.
I think the authenticity is probably what will help it stand apart.
Her authenticity. It's literally the one thing she doesn't have. It is so fake. Everything here just feels fake.
Being genuine will make the brand stand out. Instagram is a source of happiness. The posts are authentic. However, the product pages are promotional, photos are staged, and the words are copy. All of that is not sinful. All brands curate. The issue is treating criticism as hurtful while claiming that curating represents real life. Be open and honest about the curation if you want to be genuine. Say, we try to create nice things, we plan, we shoot, and we style. We remain human. That is plausible. The term authentic only has meaning when it is provided by the audience. Now, let's discuss the Netflix segment: provider, network, and investor partner. What a serious machine that is. Just take ownership of it if you are connected to it. Call the brand what it is: a consumer product arm of a media brand. It is commerce, community, and content. It has a single engine. Individuals understand that. However, you can't say that the media is a vicious machine. 1 minute and then rely on a streaming giant's machine to build your dream. Next minute without sounding inconsistent. If the machine is evil when it writes about you, but perfect when it funds you, the audience will notice. They do not want you to fail. They simply want you to choose a course of action or acknowledge the trade-off. The retail talk target, Williams Sonoma. Expansion of the story into home goods candles indicates that the strategy is spread rather than depth. This is typical of celebrity brands. Most brands fail because they spread wide before they run deep, even when they hit many shelves quickly. You must make one item boringly good for a long time. If you desire loyalty, make the jam so reliable that customers will automatically place more orders. Next, construct a second product with the same level of attention. Your name becomes meaningless if you attempt to put it on everything. There is no soul in a logo. Candle doesn't tell a tale. A story is what people tell each other when you're not around.
I think authenticity is what will help it stand apart. Also, the price point. I mean, where else are people going to have the opportunity to spend 15 bucks on a tin of dead, dry-as flowers?
Do you want to see it at Target or Williams Sonoma or?
I think a key retail partner is going to be very valuable. And also, look, if you look at the categories, it might not just be one. We might have exclusivity in certain ones that make sense for the consumables. But
Meghan is just such a mean person. She can't help herself. She always has to say things that are so condescending, lies like you're mentioning with the season 2. There's just so much that this woman does that makes her unlikable.
Here's the part that would change everything fast. Give one actual receipt, or a catchphrase, nor a feeling. One straightforward, mature piece of evidence. Well, I'll be fair now. A lot of celebrity brands start clumsy and get better. This is something that can be changed. Here's how. Once more, simply state how many jars are in the first 2 drips. Before releasing any other products, dedicate yourself to one product for a full year. Show the plant and the people. Name your food scientist. Name your operations lead. Answer challenging questions in an unscripted Q&A session. No authorized list, no pre-screen, and accept the hits with cool responses. Curated stuff is not real life. We call it what we share. People will notice the discrepancy if you sell a show about your home life while claiming to seek privacy. People will notice the evasion when you remark, I don't read any of it. Also that the world is unfair, and people aren't always hostile when they notice. They simply give up on believing. They stop buying, which is worse than a mean comment. This is not doomed, in my opinion. I believe there is an easy way to regain trust. It's not a sunset montage with music. Do less, prove more, speak less, and provide receipts. You will notice a shift in tone if you do that for just 6 months.
Oh my God, I hate them both so much with every fiber of my being. That interviewer is an idiot. Emily Chang, how dumb is she? Like there's a criticism that it's like promoting trad wives. Like who would ever want to be like, you actually promoted domesticity. Who would ever want to do that?
What is the thing that you really want people to know? And at that point, we don't get anything. We get total mumbo jumbo. We get, Californian woke speak without actually revealing any truth.
She's the figurehead for this company. And that's what makes it sell, because it's Meghan and it's about Meghan and it's Meghan's. It's all about Meghan. That sounds crazy.
So here's my final word on the interview. It didn't fail because people are cruel or because it was nasty. It served a substance and was covered in sugar, which is why it failed. We were supposed to take an emotion as fact, which is why it didn't work. It failed because it sounded as though it was created for no one, despite its best efforts to be for everyone. That might alter. However, a new tagline doesn't bring about change. It is the result of a new habit. Every time you speak, demonstrate one actual thing, one factory name, one number, and one error that you are solely responsible for. As a person, I want you to succeed. Brand will come after. That's it. The interview went worse than I had anticipated. It made too much of an effort to be flawless, which made it worse. Trust is destroyed by perfection. It's easy to say, but difficult to do. More proof, less halo, more human, less performance. The jar is merely a jar till that occurs. The audience has just vanished, and the words are merely words. Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more coming your way. Until next time.